in listening to their conversations to make sure that our projects and our work and our efforts and our investment, our public investment, is always well aligned in a meaningful way that doesn't require having to redo a project just because we forgot to talk to some people when we had an important opportunity. And then, making sure that, look, how many of you would tell your kids, I want to see your report cards? Right? I think you ought to see our report cards. I think there ought to be regular hearings to discuss how the money has been spent, what is the progress being made, what were the priorities, and the list goes on. But I think that is an important process to have for everyone, because you're the taxpayer, we're doing your job with your money. I think that gives you some right to hold us accountable. And then using the most advanced approaches, there are several entities in the greater Houston area that we should be listening to, paying attention to, and respecting. They include Rice University's Speed Center, the Greater Houston Flood Mitigation Consortium, the Coalition for Environment, Equity, and Resilience, Seer. I think we need to make sure that we are listening to those folks because they have some incredible brain power in those areas that are not yet constrained by the politics or the restrictions of government. And I think it gives us a good opportunity to listen to some people who have some interesting ideas and who are actively studying all of these issues. And then I think we ought to make sure that we're adopting the Seer Principles at a minimum, making sure that we are focused on our entire community. One of the challenges that Precinct 2 has is that we have a great deal of families that are struggling with cancer, more concentrated in our area than in any other part of Texas. And I think we owe it to those families, we owe it to ourselves to understand that. And so we ought to be making sure that we're focused on equity, air, land, displaced people, resource recovery and recycling, and that we're thinking about resiliency and all of these issues that do require a great deal of work and commitment and dedication on behalf of your elected officials. And these are just some of the Seer Principles that I'm committed to implementing. That is focus on equity, embrace transparency, focus on our air, focus on our land, focus on our water, focus on resource recovery and recycling, focus on displaced people, and embrace resiliency. These are the Seer Principles. And then, as I mentioned earlier, priority. These are different priorities that we ought